I really think we need to talk about Xbox exclusives, because we've got Satya Nadella, Microsoft's CEO over here, talking about how more Xbox first-party games going to be coming to PlayStation in the future, and at the same time, same day, he talks about how Xbox exclusive content is important for platform growth, Xbox platform growth. So, which is it really? Let's look into it. But first, let's check iniba.com. They offer games for Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and PC, and as always, they've got a ton of games on sale. So let's check Black Ops 6, Call of Duty Black Ops, which is available right now via Game Pass as well. So that's interesting. So we can grab one of these games over here. There's a cross-gen bundle for Xbox. It's still a cross-gen title, believe it or not. So that's the game, but you can also grab a Game Pass and enjoy Call of Duty via Game Pass. And you can actually grab one of these great offers over here. I usually go with 3 months Ultimate, which, this is a great price. That's for Europe, that's global, so use it everywhere. It's 25 bucks, 25 euros for 3 months, and that's worth like 60, right? 50, 60 euros, really, $60. So that's a great price. It's like better than half, right? So let's actually grab this as well. Now let's just proceed to checkout. As always, we can add even more games to the cart, and all you have to do now is just select a payment of your choice, and that's it, you're done, guys. So iniba.com, you will find the link to this website in the description of this video below. Alright guys, so let's talk about these Xbox exclusives. Apparently Xbox have no exclusives. Well, that's not entirely true, but yeah, more and more Xbox first-party games is coming to other platforms. PC, they've been there for like a decade now, even more. PlayStation this year was actually quite interesting in the sense that they've been putting more and more games on PlayStation. Nintendo as well. Nintendo Switch 2 is coming as well, so there's going to be even more games in the future. So we've got Satya Nadella during one of those investors call talking about the fact that the Project Latitude, which is really the internal project that is all about like porting Xbox games to PlayStation and Nintendo, that they've seen success there and they will continue doing this. So there's going to be more ports coming to PlayStation and Nintendo in the future. But at the same time, he talks about how important exclusive Xbox content is to Xbox platform growth, right? So, some people were confused. Well, I mean, so which is it? Like, so are you trying to grow your platform by offering exclusives, or are you trying to make more money by actually porting these exclusives to other platforms, right? And I think it's both, right? And I know it may sound funny at first, but I personally think it's both, right? So first off, let's talk about Project Latitude. Obviously, it's not that Satya Nadella called it like that. It's like Jess Corden of Windows Central actually reported on that project, and it's there's plans to port even more Xbox games to PlayStation and Nintendo in the future. So that's not changing. There's been some reports saying that maybe they change their plans onto how to communicate this, because apparently a lot of gamers were not happy with how they communicated the fact that Indiana Jones is coming to PlayStation, that that they are kind of taking value out of the Xbox consoles and that kind of stuff. So it's not necessarily that the project stopped or paused. I think they will just I guess they will be more hush about it, right? So in a sense that when you celebrate Xbox consoles and Xbox ecosystem, they won't really talk about these games coming to PlayStation, I guess, in the future, right? I mean, that's the rumor, right? Because like with Indiana Jones, it was like, oh, and there's one more thing, right? And the game that everyone is waiting for to play in Game Pass in Xbox will be on PlayStation a few months later, right? So it's like, oh, and I get it. Like it was such a terrible thing to do because, you know, here what happened, right? They said that it's coming to PlayStation. So instead of journalists talking about how good the game is, you know, what it's going to be all about and that kind of stuff, they were only talking about the fact that, oh, it's coming to PlayStation, right? So it killed really the whole hype for the game per se. It was only the clickbait, it's coming to PlayStation. I mean, it wasn't really a clickbait per se. I mean, it was truth, right? But, you know, Xbox did that to themselves, right? And that's what I'm talking about. That they are so fucking stupid sometimes with these. I get it. You want to celebrate that it's coming to other platforms, but you own your own platform first, right? So, you know, make it worth it, right? I mean, it's because like a lot of people felt like, oh, it's like, hey, it's on Xbox, but hey, you know, PlayStation guys, we've got that good, you know, these you know, goodies for you as well. It's like, so, you know, it's like they kind of really, that wasn't a good job. I can tell you that, right? So they killed the hype for Indiana Jones a little bit with that, and I think that's why they will be more careful about it. But porting games, Xbox games to PlayStation is not going to stop. So what about that Satya Nadella thing he said about Xbox content? So here's actually a quote, because I think it was some of the stuff he said was actually written in like a Microsoft report or something like that, or minutes from the meeting or whatever, right? So I'm not going to read it all, because he talks about how they want to obviously grow the Xbox ecosystem, but not necessarily, you know, he talks about like different endpoints, meaning endpoints as in Xbox consoles, PC, mobile, TVs, and whatever. That's what endpoint is for them, really. So they're not focusing on Xbox per se, but at the same time, he says this: Xbox enables people to connect and share online gaming experiences that are accessible on Xbox consoles. So he finally mentioned Xbox console, right? So that are accessible on Xbox consoles, Windows-enabled devices, and other devices, right? So other devices meaning mobile and, other consoles as well. And TVs, I guess, right? Xbox is designed to benefit users by providing access to a network of certified applications and services, and to benefit our developer and partner ecosystems by providing access to a large consumer base. So he's talking about third-party, you know, gamers, right? Developers and publishers, I guess. Xbox revenue is mainly affected by subscriptions and sales of first-party and third-party content. And this is actually very important, because this is why having its own platform, hardware platform, is still important, because you sell not only your games but also third-party games, and you get cut from selling that like 30% cut, right? That's still a lot of money. So even PlayStation back in days, especially now when they don't really sell a lot of exclusives, they don't have many exclusives, most of the money they make is on selling third-party games on their store. I mean, how do you think Google is making money, or Apple Store? They are selling other people's products, as in games, apps, on their own store, and they take a cut from it, like whatever, like 20-30%, right? And they make money on it, right? And so that's the main kind of source of revenue, and obviously Game Pass now on top of that. But I still think that they make more money selling these games on their own store. So having your own store is still important, and except Xbox Store, they've got Windows Store, but like there's nothing there. Like there's hardly like the library of games on Windows Store is growing, and there's some Play Anywhere titles, which is great because I can play games that I own on Xbox also on Windows because it's kind of the same, but there's not a lot of games are like that, right? So that's why I say that having your own hardware console is still important, because people not only buy your games, your Xbox first-party games, but also third-party, and you make money selling these games on your own store too, even more than making money on these games, on your own games. And on top of that, like any microtransactions on top of that and that kind of stuff, right? So let's continue. Growth of our gaming business is determined by the overall active user base through Xbox-enabled content. So that's interesting that they talk about Xbox-enabled content, not necessarily Xbox endpoints or hardware. Availability of games providing exclusive game content that gamers seek, the computational power and reliability of the devices used to access our content and services, and the ability to create new experiences. Now, he talks about providing exclusive game content, not necessarily games, exclusive games. So, there's two camps here. Like some people say that it's not about Xbox exclusives, so really all games are going to be on other platforms, where there's another camp, different camp that say providing exclusive game content still means Xbox exclusives. So obviously exclusive game content may be skins or some additional DLCs, or I think they had that Xbox exclusive content kind of deal with Riot, where they offered like some skin packs for Valorant, I think, in a day, back in the days and stuff. So that's exclusive content as well. But let's assume for a moment that he still means also Xbox exclusives for consoles. So even so, it's really conceivable that you can release more and more games on PlayStation, but still have some games exclusive for your platform, right? They still kind of, I guess, trying to read people and the behavior, and they try to gather data on how people will behave if they keep pushing releasing games on other platforms. But I think there's no going back from it anymore, so there's going to be more and more games. But I still think that if you want to have your own store, if you want to make money not only on your first party games but also third party games, so like any other big games like releasing GTA on Xbox will make a lot of money. Not only you make money from selling the game on your Xbox store, but also any microtransactions in the online multiplayer later on as well. Fortnite makes a lot of money for Xbox because a lot of people play Fortnite on Xbox. So that's why I still think that Xbox will not necessarily kill Xbox per se, but I do have a feeling it looks like they kind of, I think Xbox lost interest in this generation, right? That's why they are not necessarily pushing Xbox Series consoles that hard. They are not kind of doing anything interesting with it when it comes to Xbox. I mean, yeah, they released like these revised consoles, so that's one thing, but that's nothing exciting really, like same old consoles really. If you look at Xbox updates, nothing there. They're not actually improving Xbox that much. So, and I'm actually going to make a video very soon about it, probably tomorrow. Even Windows Central and JS Corden reported a while ago that For Xbox, it's all hands on board on next gen already when it comes to especially operating system, but also hardware and all that kind of stuff. I think they are even Phil said that they lost last generation. This generation they started pretty okay, but only thanks to core Xbox gamers like myself that are already invested in that ecosystem, but they didn't really see much of a I guess migration from PlayStation to Xbox, even though they had very good Xbox Game Pass and stuff. People are kind of stuck to their ways already, and I think that the other way they could bring more people to Xbox ecosystem, not even Xbox ecosystem, but to a new platform, is to bring them from the last generation. And there's still a lot of people playing games on last gen Xbox consoles. But like I said, I'll talk about it in the next video. So genuinely speaking, I think that Xbox exclusives are still here to stay. There's not going to be a lot of them probably. There's going to be less and less of them moving forward. But still, I think some games will stay exclusive, because even if you really think about, like, Xbox is still making third-party exclusive deals with like Stalker developers. Stalker is coming only for Xbox, not PlayStation, right? So they invested some money into that, right? So they are still investing in having exclusive content, not always first-party, but also third-party content, like Stalker 2, for example, right? So, you know, we'll see how that goes. But generally speaking, you know, Xbox is, they want to grow not only via, having all these games on exclusive, but they still want to keep their store and that kind of stuff. But I think they are more thinking what's ahead of them rather than so PlayStation right now is in their kind of maximization, in a phase where they want to maximize their profits from this generation. Obviously still building like next gen and stuff, like it's not that, but Xbox is like, okay, let's make some money this gen still, even on PlayStation, and let's see how things will go next gen. I think that's how I feel about Xbox. But, even next gen, some of these games will still stay multi-platform, right? It's just, I think that there's going to be a certain number of some games that will be exclusive while others won't. So anyway, that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. A long one this time around, but all that exclusive content thing when it comes to Xbox is kind of convoluted. Microsoft's messaging is crap, is annoying, because I think they are not even, I don't even think they are 100% sure what's going to happen next, because they are still kind of building their plans for next gen. I mean, plans for this gen changed already. They had plans for that, a proper Xbox Series X refresh, and they've changed it, right? They decided that it's not worth pursuing, right? So anyway, that's the video. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.